Love is in the air, so I'll share my tips for producing beautiful wedding films, how to book your first client, setting up cameras and microphones, and editing sure to make brides and grooms smile. Every year I produce several wedding films. It makes up about 25% of my freelance business, and I get lots of questions from viewers about the right way to capture a wedding. With Valentine's Day this week, it's the perfect time to answer your questions. Most weddings are in the summer, but it's this time of year that many couples are getting engaged, planning their weddings, and calling you, their talented videographer friend, to see if you're available. So today I'll share my best tips for producing beautiful wedding films. But first, how do you book a wedding? I've tried a bridal show, business cards, but most of my weddings come from word of mouth. There are over 100 guests at an average wedding. One of them will get married soon. So if you can get one wedding on your reel, more will follow. But how do you start? If you're in your 20s like me, you probably have lots of friends getting married. Or if you're in high school, do you have any teachers getting married? That's how I started. Make sure everyone knows that you're a talented videographer who wants to shoot weddings. Offering a cheap or free wedding is one way to entice your first client. Just like any video, a wedding film should tell a story. So I open with our protagonists hours before the ceremony to document the nervous excitement of getting ready. Short interviews with the bride and groom are a great way to capture their energy and the love they share. Before the ceremony is an ideal time to pick up establishing shots, B-roll. I use my glide cam a lot to capture these beautifully steady moves. I've added a couple ceramic tiles and a quick release plate to the top to make it heavy enough to work with my lightweight DSLR. I usually need about an hour before the ceremony to set up my gear, starting with cameras. You really need at least 2 cameras, a wide camera in the back and a close-up camera positioned on the right so you can see the bride's face. I often use my GoPro as a third angle. Having multiple cameras allows you to move or refocus, knowing that you have another angle to cut away to. Having a second camera operator is nice, but even an unmanned camera, if you shoot in 1080 and edit in 720, gives you the flexibility to tighten and reframe the image. Once you push record on each camera, don't stop until the end of the ceremony. That way you only have to synchronize the video tracks once in the editing. Be sure to introduce yourself to the other people working the wedding. The photographer kind of directs people before and after the ceremony, and the DJ definitely controls the flow of the reception. So you want to have a good working relationship with these people. They may be able to answer your questions, and you definitely don't ever want to get in their way. At the ceremony, I use 2 tripods, but I often need to go handheld with a shoulder rig. Everyone stands when the bride enters, which will block your shot. I also like to get close during the vows. Even if you go to the wedding rehearsal, there will always be surprises. The ceremony could start early or 10 minutes late. You expect the kiss to happen at the end, but not every wedding follows that format. And you always make mistakes, so protect yourself. Bring extension cables so you don't run out of battery. You also want to capture as much audio as possible. I use a shotgun mic on my camera and a lavalier mic and portable recorder on the groom. My H4n has a built-in mic, plus if the ceremony uses a PA system, I'll connect it to the soundboard. I always bring an XLR cable, a 1/4-inch cable, and RCA cables. You never know which output a system might use. At the reception, I always ask to plug into the DJ's soundboard. Speeches sound much better straight from the microphone. Having several audio options is important. Maybe the sermon is best picked up through the groom mic, but then the music sounds better through a shotgun mic, so you can switch back and forth. At the reception, I usually only need 1 camera, but it might get pretty dark, so I use my fastest lens, f1.4. Sure, an on-camera light or softbox would definitely help, but I'd rather be unobtrusive and capture candid moments, so I just have to accept that some video will be dark. Here they turned off the lights on the dance floor, but the other side of the room was lit up, so I turned and shot this couple's first dance as a silhouette. Now that you have all this footage, how will you package it? I cut about 5 hours of raw video down to 1 hour of edited content, a full-length ceremony, and a reception video that includes all the important moments, their entrance, toasts, cake cutting, first dance, bouquet toss, and I finish with a montage of everyone on the dance floor. They get all of this as high-definition video files and on several DVDs. But my favorite piece is the 5-minute short film. This is my chance to show off the best moments of the day, and it's short enough that lots of friends and family will watch it. I include my most beautiful shots and lots of smiling and laughing, because when we see people smile, it makes us smile too. I shoot 60 frames per second and slow it down to 24 frames. When a bride watches her wedding in slow motion, set to an emotional song, and she hears her husband's voice saying how much he loves her, she will cry, tears of happiness, and she'll love the video. You may feel like there's a lot of pressure, you don't want to mess up someone's wedding video. But even if your shots aren't perfect, you're capturing a beautiful day in two people's lives, so they will love watching the video you produce and reliving those moments. Weddings were the first paid projects I got as a freelance videographer, and they've led to lots of non-wedding work as well. So if you want to shoot weddings, I hope today's episode helps, and let me know in the comments what other questions you have. So thanks for watching, have a great Valentine's Day, and know that I love you.